Whirly bird. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dork Side. It is I, a friendly neighborhood dork in the road, out on another motorcycling adventure. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. I super appreciate it. So I thought today, real fast, it might be cool to talk a little bit about really the most major mod I've done to this bike. It's pretty stock, to be honest. But I had some questions about mods, and I thought it would be cool to talk about my favorite mod, which is the Puig windscreen. The Puig, that is this windscreen you're seeing on the front of the bike. I've heard it referred to as a Puig, and a Pug, and a Puig, and I'm reasonably certain, 92% certain, that it's pronounced Puig. Puig just sounds cool. It's Spanish. They're a Spanish company, so Puig. Not Spooge. No. Puig. Spooge is something else. Oh, work crew. Interesting. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for repaying your debt to society. Funny story, I actually filmed this video a couple days ago and got home and realized I had not plugged in my microphone, so I am a motovlogging noob. Something of an idiot, I suppose. You actually have to plug in the mic if you want it to work. It's important. So, it wasn't a great day to be riding. Honestly, the coolest thing I think was going on was I was trying to chase this rainstorm home, and I made a butt ton of Wizard of Oz references that are forever lost into the ether. I was just talking to myself for no reason, which is just crazy. Let me tell you a little bit about when I first got this bike. So, when I picked up the CB500F, which I love, by the way, and if you know, I have a whole video about why it's a great bike and was a great bike for me as a beginner, which, you know, feel free to check out. But when I rode it home, it was my first time riding a motorcycle on a highway. Picked it up in a town in Corvallis, about 20 miles from here, and I had worked out a route where I only needed to be on the highway for about 6 miles, so it wasn't very far. And then I was going to back road it the rest of the way, and that was as close as I could get. So it was a really hot day, like 100 degrees. Unseasonably warm for the time of year I picked it up. It was early June. We usually don't get that hot till late July, August around here. Oh, I get to follow this guy and his incredibly well-packed and not at all terrifying load for a while. One strap, huh? And on a toolbox, no less. You can tell that guy just came from Home Depot. Thank you for not running into me, lady. So, I got the bike and I got new gear when I picked it up. And the jacket I got was a Tourmaster Transition 3, just sweet jacket. And it was hot, like I said, so I opened every vent on that thing I could find. Shoulder vents, back vents, chest vents, arm vents, everything. And I got out on the highway and quickly discovered that when you ride a naked bike on the highway at high speed with all of your vents open in a jacket that maybe has a little bit of extra room or wasn't tightened up properly, because I was just excited to get on and ride. I didn't have time to think about adjusting my jacket. It fills up with air, and quickly, and so I got out on the highway, and about as soon as I hit 55, it really felt like, honestly, like someone had grabbed me by the collar and was trying to yank me off my bike. I don't think I want to be behind this guy. I'm not going to pass him at the railroad crossing. So my jacket filled up, and it was lifting me up and back off the bike. So that was terrifying. Now, I mean, it's annoying if you're an experienced rider, but for somebody who's pretty new, that was scary. Like, I felt like, oh my god, I'm going to be pulled off the bike, I'm not secure. And so the first chance I got, I pulled off the highway and I closed those shoulder vents. The jacket has sweet vents that run all the way along your upper arm, and so it was just filling up that whole area with air and billowing out like a balloon, like a parachute really, and pulling me off. Closed the vents, made it home, long story short. But that got me thinking about wind, and really, before I got the windscreen on this bike, pretty much waist up, maybe navel up, you get a lot of wind, you get a lot of buffeting. So look at how much lower the pond is now than the video I made like a week ago. Crazy. So I started looking around, and the Puig was well reviewed. I'd seen a lot of positive comments on it, and perhaps most importantly, it looked really cool on the bike. So Did some research, like I said, looked at some videos, and also checked into how hard it was to put on, because while I have a basic level of competence, I can, you know, turn a screwdriver and stuff, I'm by no means a guy that's going to tear the engine apart and rebuild it piece by piece. I tend to lose pieces. It's uncomfortable when you try to put it back together. And it seemed like it wasn't too hard, and in fact, it wasn't a super difficult process. So I ordered it. It came real fast. I got it from Amazon. There's a link below if you're curious which exact one it is. I'm glad I'm not following this guy anymore. And got it, put it on, and immediately noticed the difference in terms of wind. Like, I still get wind. It's not, you can't hide behind this tiny screen at all, but it's definitely around the chin and up area, and if I duck down a little, I can get mostly out of it. So it made a big difference, honestly, and it added a lot of confidence as a new rider. Wind reduction, it's great at that. Does a great job. The other thing I really like about it, it looks really cool. In fact, I put it on and then sent my buddy a picture of it, of my bike, and he sent me back a question mark because he couldn't figure out why I just sent him a picture of my regular normal bike, because the windscreen looked so good. It looked stock. It didn't look like I had done anything to it. So I think it looks really great. It comes in 3 colors. This is the dark smoke, which you can still see through if you look, like when there's a line behind it, you can see it on the road. There's the light smoke, which is just barely darker than clear, and then the clear. I like the dark smoke because my bike is black, and it doesn't show the nasty bugs and stuff, probably like I imagine a clear one would. So reason 2, I love it. It looks cool. And the third reason, it was really easy to put on. You can see up in here, there's a bolt here and then another one up here. So there's 2 bolts, and really what you do is you loosen those bolts and it drops the center console forward. The windscreen comes attached to these brackets. You don't have to do that part. You just attach it to the bike. So I unscrewed the bolts, put the windscreen on, tightened them down, and I was done. It probably took me less than half an hour, and like I said, I'm not a gearhead by any means. So really simple installation. It looks good. It's really sturdy. Like, I have no concerns about that whatsoever, but I was worried before I put it on. So it reduces the wind, does a good job of that. Looks really good, and it's super sturdy, easy to put on, and I would recommend it to anyone that's looking for a windscreen for their CB500F, or if they have a similar windscreen for your bike, I would recommend the Puig as a quality product, and not too expensive. I think I paid 130 bucks. So, if you were curious about the Puig, those are my thoughts on it. Super sweet looking windscreen that is, many people say, or at least I read online, said that it's the essential must-have accessory for this bike. I don't see the sensor. I don't know that I'm going to be able to set this off. So, those are my thoughts on the Puig windscreen. If you have questions about it, I'd be happy to answer them. Please feel free to put them in the comments below. And I super appreciate you watching, and until I see you again, please remember to be excellent to each other. Thank you.
Excellent!
I love the CL17 helmet, I really do, but it fogs up awful fast when you're sitting still. And it has a breath guard, or at least what's referred to as a breath guard. I can't imagine what it must be like to have a helmet without one. It fogs up my glasses when I sit still. It's unfortunate. It's a minor inconvenience, I suppose. Except when you can't see. And then it's sort of a problem while you're motorcycling, but whatever.